Hello children, in this session we will be discussing mainly the factors which are affecting the temperature of a place. Children, one of the most important factor which affect the temperature of a place is the latitude. Let's see how the latitude of a place affecting the temperature. You know that children, equator is the greatest latitude which is passing through the middle of the earth. Okay, so if a place is located close to the equator, you know temperature is high. So if a place is located far away from the equator, temperature is low. So how you understand? Suppose you see, imagine that you are moving from the equatorial region to the polar regions. This is the polar region. So you are traveling from here. So you experience the temperature is going on decreasing. Suppose you return from the polar region, from polar region to the equatorial region, you observe that temperature is increasing. Okay, so that means the places which are close to the equator, temperature is high, and as the place located far away from the equator, temperature is low. Okay, this is how the latitudes means especially equator. Latitudes, you see, as you move from the lower latitude to the higher latitude, which is the higher latitude which are in the polar region, because this is 90 degree. Okay, so this is a higher latitude. So from the lower latitude to the higher latitude, temperature decreases. As you move from the, as the place is located from the higher latitude to the lower latitude, what happens? Temperature increases. Clear? So let's see this point from the textbook. Yes, let's see the lesson what is mentioned here about latitudes. You see the points here, you have to study these underlined points. Yeah, here you see the temperature in general, the temperature. So this is, you understand the point here. In general, the temperature is mentioning here. Yes, in general the temperature decreases see, the temperature decreases from equator towards the pole. So that is what we discussed. Generally what happens? The temperature decreases from the equator towards the pole, and this is because, why it happened the temperature decreases from the equator to the pole? So already we discussed this in previous classes also. You know that the earth has got a spherical shape, and the sun, imagine sun, and the sun rays are falling directly on the equator. Direct rays of sun on the equator. Okay, equator side, direct sun rays. So here sun rays do not have to travel a long distance. Okay, they cover only a small distance. They have to travel only small distance through the atmosphere. Understood? So direct rays, no, and also they cover a smaller area, but these are the slanting rays. Okay, they are covering a larger distance because of the spherical shape. Understood? So as you move away from the equator, what happens? The temperature decreases. Why? Because here oblique sun rays, slanting sun rays or oblique sun rays, they travel long distance, so their temperature decreases. As they travel long distance, cover larger area, what happens? That much of cloud and water vapor does, they absorb the heat energy. At the same time, while traveling long distance, they lose the heat energy as they are covering larger area. But direct sun rays, they cover a smaller area, so they means they causes heating of equatorial places. So let's continue the points here. So this is because the midday sun is almost overhead within the tropics. Within the tropics here means equator region, nearby the these are all the tropic region. Okay, within the tropics, throughout there, the vertical or direct sun rays of the sun pass through the less atmosphere, and they are concentrated over smaller area. So the heating power is greater than that of oblique rays. Oblique rays means these are the oblique rays, slanting rays. And then on the other hand, outside the tropics, due to the curvature of the earth, the rays strike the earth at a low angle. The oblique or slanting rays pass through the more atmosphere and are spread over a larger area. So that what happens, spread over a larger area, so much heat is absorbed by the cloud, dust particles and water waves. So oblique rays have less heating. So I hope this point is very clear. Next we move on to the point is the next important factor which affect the temperature of a place is that altitude. So altitude means what? Height of a place. Okay, as you move from the lower area to the higher area in the atmosphere, okay, as much the height of the place increase, as much you move high from the lower area to the higher area in the atmosphere, you move high, means you travel higher. What happened, what is that, altitude is increasing. So as much the altitude means the height, as much the height of a place increases, what happens, temperature decreases. If the height of a place, height of the height of a place increases, what happens, temperature decreases. That means as much the altitude increases, temperature increases. Understood? Decreases. Altitude increases, temperature decreases. Clear? So this is what. So that is why if you go to the mountainous region and all, no, it is completely snow covered. Why the peak of the mountains are snow covered like this? Because you see the altitude is very high here. So as much you move in the height of the atmosphere, what happens, temperature is very low there. So what happens, there forms snow capped mountains. Clear? Now what is the reason for the decrease of temperature in the higher altitude? You know, the density of the air is maximum in the lower layer of the atmosphere. Density of the air is maximum in the lower layers. Maximum density. Understood? Maximum density means, what do you mean by maximum density of air? That means thickness of gases. Here is a maximum gases. Maximum gases are found in this lower layer of the atmosphere. But as you come to the higher layer of the atmosphere, what happens? Density decreases. Density of the air decreases, so that what happens? There is maximum. There you can find the absence of gases, certain gases like. Okay, so what happens is that like gases like carbon dioxide and all CO2 is one of the important gas which absorb the heat energy. Then water vapor is there, dust particles are there, so many other gases are there. We learned about greenhouse gases. They trap the heat energy. So these heavy gases are found at the lower layer of the atmosphere. Understood? So that is why when the sun rays reach here, these gases and water vapor, they absorb the heat energy, and so that at the time of terrestrial radiation, you know that the earth is heated up through the insolation and terrestrial radiation. So when the earth radiate back the heat energy to the space, what happen? This carbon dioxide stop that heat energy. It will not allow to radiate back, and then the carbon dioxide will absorb the heat energy and make the lower layer hot. Understood? So the temperature is maximum or more in the lower layer of the atmosphere. So as much the height of a place increases, what happens? Here you can find the absence of these region, you can find the absence of these gases. Okay, otherwise the very thin gases are found, so they do not absorb. Even water vapor also is not much there, so they do not absorb the heat energy. That is the reason why as much the altitude increases, uh, temperature decreases. Now, what is normal lapse rate? We have learned about normal lapse rate. What is that? As much the altitude, even the altitude increases, temperature decreases. So for every 166 meters of the height, temperature decreases of 1 degree Celsius. This is called normal lapse rate. Clear? Okay, now let us go through the lesson. So you see the hill station and all, you see, suppose why you see surrounding region, it may remain the normal temperature hot, but if the nearby that, if the place is of great height, like hill station and all, like you see Ooty in South India, there is Ooty is there, Kodaikanal is there, otherwise Darjeeling, these are all hill stations. Okay, so compared to the surrounding region, this hill station remains very cold and pleasant climate. Sometimes during summer and also many people they go visiting this hill station. Why? Because of this particular reason. These hill stations are cold because they are of higher altitude. They are located in the great height compared to other places, so the temperature is low there. That is why they are remaining cold. So now let us go through the chapter here, which are the points we have to learn by heart from the chapter. You see the points already underlined. Altitude. So this that atmosphere mainly gets heated by the terrestrial radiation from the from below to upwards, that I told you. What is that? Insolation. Sun rays are received by the earth. Now terrestrial radiation is that when the earth radiate back the heat energy. So it is at that time carbon dioxide and water vapor absorb the heat energy, so and make the layers of the atmosphere hot. Okay, so water vapor and dust particles absorb the terrestrial heat by conduction. And next is the process of observing heat is called conduction here. So on the other higher level, what happened? Density of the air decreases because the density air become thin, so rarefied. That means minimum of gases contain less water vapor and dust particles, so heat radiated back the earth is escaped back to the space. Nothing is to trap the heat over there, so that consequently the upper layers of atmosphere remain cooler. Clear? And let's move to the next factor. So we discussed two factors. The one factor is that latitude. The one main factor is latitude, you understood, and the second factor we discussed is that altitude, the height of a place. And let us move on to the next important factor is that distance from the sea. Okay, now let's see how the distance from the sea is causing the temperature, affecting the temperature of a place. Distance from the sea is the third point that we are discussing. Let's see how the distance from the sea is affecting. You see here, you can see here during the daytime, due to the insulation, during the time of insulation and terrestrial radiation, the daytime land is heated. Land is heated much faster than the water body. So this is a water body. So land is much heated much faster than the water body. So that what happens? So during the daytime, land is heated. So that what happen? When the temperature increases of a place, there forms a low pressure. There forms a low pressure. You have to keep this point in mind. When the temperature increases, what happens? There forms low pressure in that place. Okay, so here why the temperature increases? Why? Because land is observing the heat energy. It can, land gets heated very fast during the daytime and it becomes cool during the night time very fast. But comparatively water, it gets heated slowly. Why? Because water body, it sun rays penetrate deep into the water body, and slowly it makes warm and then mixing up, so it takes time. So land gets heated very fast, but land heated much faster than the water body, so that over the water body there remains high pressure. There remain high pressure. Now, one phenomenon is that here, important point you should know is that wind always blow from the high pressure to the low pressure. The movement of the wind is always from high pressure to the low pressure region. Is that clear? So, what is that? During the daytime, the places which are near to the sea, okay, places which are near to the sea or any water body, during the daytime, the cold breeze, because the breeze which is blowing from the sea is always cool, no? So this cool breeze, so this can be called sea breeze. Okay, the wind which blow from the sea to the land during the daytime can be called as sea breeze. So sea breeze is flowing from the sea to the land during the daytime. Now what happens at the night time? You see here, the night time the land is becoming cool very fast. Land gets cool very fast. For that reason, over the land there forms high pressure or low pressure. There forms high pressure because water body is getting cool much slowly. Slowly it get cool. So compared to the land, over the water body there remains low pressure. Okay, so when it happens during the night time, understood? So during the night time what happened? Now the wind start blowing from where to where? From the land to the sea. So during the night time the wind which blow from land to the sea is called land breeze. That is called what? Land breeze. This is called land breeze. So what happens is that this phenomenon, the sea breeze and land breeze, is taking place in the coastal region. Understood? So sea breezes, what is that? During the daytime, the sea breeze is flowing from the sea to the land, so that even though it experience intensive heating from the sun, it do not feel much hot over there over the land. Why? Because a cool breeze is blowing from the sea to the land, so no much temperature is affected. Okay, similar way during the night time what happens? The land is over the land there forms a high pressure and here forms the low pressure. So the land breeze at night time it start blowing from the land to the sea. Clear? So for this reason, what is that? So the land means coastal region, it do not feel much hot also. Understood? So this phenomenon of land breeze and sea breeze make a moderate climatic condition over the coastal region. Why? The other regions are not affected by the influence of the sea. So the sea, as much the place is located close to the sea, they experience moderate climatic condition. If a place is what is located as much close to the sea, those region experience moderate climatic condition. Why? Because of the phenomenon of land breeze and sea breeze. Okay, now children, let us go through the points here given in the textbook. What are the points here? Lands get heated more quickly than water, as more quickly than water. This is because of lower specific land, whereas water takes longer and to get heated. So these points are discussed. Okay, so during the daytime the land gets heated more than the surrounding water bodies, and at night land radiates it and gets cool. Then next is what? This contrast is also observed summer and winter. So located, the places look far from the sea in the interior parts of the what is that, have greater range of temperature, such as, so here what it is meant to say is that the places close to the sea, they experience moderate climatic condition. So if a place is far away from the sea, okay, if it is far away from the sea, there is extreme climate condition. Why extreme climate condition? Because they have no influence of the sea breeze or land breeze. So daytime the heat is experienced, as much the heat is absorbed by the atmosphere, that much intensive heating daytime, and at the same time night time it becomes very cool sometime. But you see, the winter season, you see, now we have winter season, so we have extreme cold during the winter season, isn't it? Extreme winter in the places which are far away from the sea. And summers are also extreme. Why summers are extreme? Experiencing the place which are far away from the coastal region is that there is no what is that, moderating influence of the sea, because these places are located far. Suppose you see like Ranchi, Jharkhand, many region, like all other states like UP and all, these are all continental region. Continental means these are all located far away from the sea. But at the same time Kolkata has got the influence of the sea. Then other coastal regions of Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, even Kerala, these region, no, all the South Indian states, no, they have got moderate influence of the ocean, so that there no extreme winter or no extreme summer is experienced. Now during winter season, if you go to South India, you will not find any people wearing woolen clothes. Why? Because there is no much cold over there. Because why? They have got the moderating influence of the sea. So this point you have to keep in mind. And then children, you have to read from your textbook. So this screenshot is not so clear, so okay, you see, the places located closer to the water body experience the cool sea breeze can be, okay, due to the phenomenon of land and sea breeze. So areas have low diurnal and annual range of compared to the areas located far from the sea. So this is the phenomenon what I experienced, the point, explain the points. And the next is that we have to discuss about the ocean currents. You see, ocean currents which are flowing from the equatorial region to the polar region. What happens is that, so warm ocean current is flowing from the equatorial region to polar region, and cold ocean current is flowing from the polar region to the equatorial region. So how does it affect the temperature of a place? You see, warm ocean current, you see the movement of ocean current, can see the movement of cold ocean current here from polar region to equatorial region. So how does it affect the temperature? You see, warm ocean current, when they passes through the cold region, very cold region, and you see, suppose you see these warm ocean current, if they come to this polar region and or near to the polar region, you see, they can make this extreme cold region what is that, warm ocean current makes the region warm in which they passes through, and cold ocean current makes the region cold. You see here the cold ocean current, you see, they can make this region extremely cold. Is that clear? So this is how the ocean current influence the climate of a place. Now let's see, read that ocean current, influence of ocean current from the chapter. Let's find out, children. Yeah, very fast we'll look for it, that point. How the ocean current, yeah, from here it's there. Let's see the points and underline. Warm and cold ocean currents affect the climate of areas which they flow. Warm ocean currents flow equatorial areas to the polar region, tend to make the neighboring coastal areas warmer than it would be. So, example also given, go through the example. And the next is that point we have to discuss is that next point, the factor which affect the temperature of a place is that slope of the land. You see, suppose you see in some valleys, so this is not there in the textbook, I think. Let's see the wind. Okay, slope of the land and wind, how the wind is affecting. So this is very simple. The wind which flow from the cold region to the wind which move from the cold region makes the region cold. Understood? Suppose you see the wind which origin from the sea here. Okay, so sea, so this causes rain. Okay, so this wind is obstructed by this barrier, mountain as a barrier is standing, so it obstructed so that it can cause rainfall in this region, so that this causing rain, this region is affected by the wind, and so temperature is cooled down in this region. So in this way wind is also, and at the same time wind which is moving from the warmer region can make the region warm, just like you see during summer season and Loo is there, no? So when it blow, it makes the region extremely hot, so heat waves. So let's see go through the points here, how the wind is affecting the temperature of a place. Winds modify the temperature of a region over which they blow. The cold winds blowing from the higher to the lower latitudes reduce the temperature on the region. Then the northern parts, so example you have to go through and not much necessary. Then which blowing from the land from the interior parts of the continent are generally dry. So because since they are blowing from the interior part, they do not carry any water, moisture, nothing, so they are dry and they do not cause any rainfall and they are hot. So the southwest monsoon wind blowing across the Indian Ocean pick up the moisture when they drop over the Indian subcontinent. So that that this phenomenon in India, the rainfall occur how from the monsoon season, isn't it? So Arabian Sea, the wind which blow from the Arabian Sea causes rainfall all over the country. All over the country it causes rainfall. Why? Because here the Arabian Sea, so this wind carry moisture from the Arabian Sea and causes rainfall all over the country. Clear? Okay. The next point which affect the temperature of a place is the slope of the land. You see children, in the northern hemisphere, the south facing mountains, you see south facing mountains means they are directly exposed to the sun rays. At the same time north facing mountains, they are just like means shadow, because their direct rays of the sun rays do not fall over there, so that they remain comparatively cooler than the mountain slopes of south facing. Clear? At the same time, just opposite, in the southern hemisphere, north facing slopes are directly exposed to the sun, and south facing slopes are not directly exposed to the sun. So in the northern hemisphere, south facing slopes are much hotter than the north facing slope. In the southern hemisphere, what is that, north facing slopes are much hotter than the south facing slope. Okay, let's underline this point. Northern hemisphere, the south facing slopes are warmer than those facing north due to the, what is the point, due to the fact that the sun rays strike the south facing slope. Okay, then the next is that The mountains like Great Himalayas, so this example you will go through. Okay, then in the southern hemisphere, the northern slopes are more exposed to the sun. So these are the points. So now we have gone through almost, you see, the slope, how it is exposed to the sun. You see the slope, okay, is completely exposed to the sun. It is so bright over here. So if it is in the northern hemisphere, this can be the south facing slope of the mountain. At the same time, north facing slope do not have this kind of sun rays, and so they are not much heated up. You see, sheltered slope. So in the northern hemisphere, north facing slopes are of sheltered slope. They do not have direct exposure of the sun rays. Now yes, which is the point, you see desert region, you see, the land gets heated up so fast, so that sand absorb the heat. So daytime desert is extremely hot, and night time, you see, night time, if you in Rajasthan or, you know, people need blanket, because daytime extreme hot, night time it become extremely cool. Why? Because there are no carbon dioxide, sorry, there are no much cloud is formed. Cloud also play a major role in trapping the heat. Okay, when cloud is there, it do not allow the heat to enter. At the same time, it also do not allow the heat to escape from the atmosphere. So no absence of cloud, because of the absence of cloud and water vapor, what happens, heat energy is not trapped much. So the night time, due to the terrestrial radiation, maximum heat energy is lost. So night time become extremely cool over the desert region. At the same time, daytime, what happened, intensive heating, maximum heating of the land. So that's why deserts are extremely the high range of temperature. That means daytime maximum temperature and high temperature, and nighttime maximum low temperature. This is called high range of temperature is experienced in the desert region. So children, we discussed about factors which are affecting temperature of a place. So remember that which are the points that we have discussed under this. One of the important, yes, see this, look at this picture, you see here it shows the gas. Okay, this is the gas molecules. Okay, gas molecules are maximum in the lower atmosphere. So as it move, you see the gas molecules, the quantity is decreasing. That is why the places, as much the height of a place increases, temperature decreases. This also we discussed everything. Now let us see which are the points we have discussed. Let me write over here all the points. Once again, the latitude. Then the another point is that altitude, then distance from the sea, then which one, distance from the sea, then another one was what is that, slope of the land, no, ocean currents, no, so ocean currents, then winds and slope of the land. Okay, so these are the points we discuss. Remember, learn it by heart. So these are all the factors which are affecting the temperature of a place. Children, I am winding up the topic. Go through it. If you have any doubt, you can find out from me in online class or through other means, and do the study material.